They say some buildings don't die. They stay alive even after everyone else is gone. And the old jail, it's one of those places where the walls still breathe with the dead. The night had this weird kind of silence to it. In a place like Florida, where there's always wind, people moving, cars passing, the area around the old jail was so quiet. I could literally hear my own breathing louder than usual. We stood right in front of the building, and I swear my chest felt heavy, like something was pressing down on it. The old jail's faded paint, its swinging windows, the old lanterns hanging awkwardly on the walls. Everything felt like the building wasn't just looking at us. It was staring through us. The guide was still giving his intro. Everyone else was listening casually. But my eyes were locked on one spot. The left window on the second floor. Something kept showing up there. A shape. A shadow. Sometimes visible. Sometimes gone. Like someone was peeking out, trying to decide whether we were the right kind of people to let inside. A chill went straight down my spine. We hadn't even entered yet, but whatever was inside had already noticed us. The guide passed out the equipment: EMF meter, temp gun, voice recorder, and a small lantern. Everyone was in a normal mood, but I had already gone dead silent inside. When the guide opened the door, that old iron creaked so loud it felt angry. And the second we stepped inside, the air just changed. Not cold, but heavy, like we had stepped into a place where life didn't end. It got trapped. The inside of the jail was dark and suffocating. Walls were peeling, floors scarred, like something had been dragged through those halls over and over again. The lantern flickered in a way that didn't match any breeze. It flickered like something standing on the walls was breathing with it. Our first stop was the kitchen. It was so quiet inside. I could hear my pulse in my ears. The pots and pans gave off this faint metallic ring, but the air wasn't moving at all. And the moment we stepped deeper in, I felt a small rush of cold air slide right behind my shoulder, like someone walked right past me, so close they brushed against me. I kept glancing around. A bottle would look like it moved. A shadow would cross my side vision. But every time I looked straight, nothing. The kitchen didn't give us any readings, but it gave us a very clear warning. This place wasn't empty. It was quiet, and quiet does not mean safe. From there, we moved to the cell blocks. The air here was even colder. The iron bars smelled like old rust and old sweat. Every cell had a bunk bed, and paint cracked all over the floors. The walls had carvings, names, numbers, scratches, and marks people make when they're terrified or furious. As we walked, I started feeling like someone was walking right behind us. Step for step, slow, silent, like they didn't want their footsteps to be heard. I stopped. My friend stopped, and we both looked down the corridor. Nothing, absolutely nothing, but the air, the weight of it. Something was there. Still no recordings in the cells. No activity. My friend laughed and said, "Dude, I don't think anything's happening tonight." But my gut kept saying, this place isn't quiet. It's watching. And we were about to step into the one place. Everyone says the spirits don't just stay. They strike back. Solitary confinement. The moment we stepped into that hallway, the jail dropped its mask. The air here didn't feel cold or warm. It felt wrong. Heavy, like breathing was work. Walking past the first solitary cell, this wave of uneasiness hit me hard. A shiver crawled down my back. So real, so sharp. Like someone passed by me, trying not to laugh. We turned on the first camera, and immediately, a bright orb shot across the frame. But not drifting, not floating, moving in a perfect straight line. My friend said, probably dust. But the air wasn't moving, not even a little. Then a second orb, slower, and a third. Right when we said the sheriff's name, this one zipped right between us. A swirl of light, then gone. At the same exact moment, the camera picked up a sound. Footsteps, dragging. We spun around. Corridor was empty, but the sound was real. Close, centered. My hands went ice cold. My fingers literally went numb. Then I felt something. Something tugged the back of my shirt. Gentle, human, intentional. Real enough that I spun around instantly. No one there. But that touch, that wasn't imagination. That wasn't wind. It was a human touch. A deliberate touch. That's when I realized solitary wasn't welcoming us. It was warning us. And the real story didn't start there. It started upstairs, where the sheriff's quarters were, where something wasn't just watching us. It was recognizing us. And we were already on our way there. By the time we walked out of solitary, the air had already changed. That heaviness we felt before, now it was even deeper. Like the jail had already made its decision about us. You're not leaving now. As we moved through the corridor, the light felt off. Even though we were holding the lantern straight, its shadow wasn't falling straight on the wall. It kept bending, tilting backward, like something extra was standing between us. The second floor stairs were in the corner. Old, loose wooden steps, the kind that make noise even before you step on them. The moment we stepped onto the first step, normal sound. Second step, that sound was not normal. It had a rhythm, like someone was walking behind us, in sync with us. I turned around. The corridor was completely empty, but the darkness under the stairs was so deep, it felt like someone was shifting inside it with their eyes. When we stepped onto the third step, a cold breath touched my ear. Right next to it, right beside me, completely human, completely alive. My friend felt it too. He stopped instantly, gripped the lantern tight and whispered, "Bro, someone's walking with us." Halfway up the stairs, there was a small landing area. The air here felt frozen, like someone hit pause on the wind. The lantern's light didn't flicker, didn't sway. It just stayed locked in place. Like the light had seen something and froze. We could see the upstairs hallway, a long stretched corridor, with more emotion than light. The direction where the sheriff's room was. Its door was slightly open, not moving at all. But in the little glass panel, there was a reflection. At first, I thought it was another visitor's reflection. But the second we reached the top, we both realized that reflection did not belong to the two of us. There were three shadows. We were only two people. The third shadow stood between us. No body shape, no clear outline. Just a tall, stretched neck-like silhouette, and a faint fog that looked like someone breathing. The moment we stepped fully onto the landing, that shadow stretched long and disappeared in a split second. We looked at each other. The color had already drained from our faces. The corridor floor was old. Windows lined the left side, locked offices on the right. The sheriff's room was all the way at the end. With every step, the air got heavier and heavier. And under our feet, the old wood made a noise as if someone under the floor was knocking. almost like a warning. Go back. But we were already trapped. The darkness behind us wasn't letting us return. When we reached the sheriff's room, its door was now open even wider. A faint scraping sound came from inside, like someone slowly carving wood with a nail. We froze. The sound stopped. 1 second of pure silence. Then from inside, someone let out a low, muffled laugh. Not human. Not childlike. Something ripped, broken. Like a throat that shouldn't be laughing. Was trying to laugh anyway. My friend instantly stepped back. That sound wasn't human. We pushed the door open. The sheriff's room was fully visible now. And it didn't look like something from a horror movie. Because nothing here was exaggerated. Everything was real. Real and wrong. Old files scattered on the floor. A broken desk. A faded sheriff's badge on the wall. And a chair placed like someone had just gotten up from it. The smell in the room was weird. Dust plus cold plus a faint metallic scent. We stepped into the center of the room. We pulled out the temperature gun. And the meter dropped from 18 to 8 in 1 second. That kind of drop only happened when something is standing extremely close to you. On the wall in front of us was a portrait. The old sheriff. There was something off about it. His eyes weren't looking straight at the camera. They were slightly turned to the right, like he was watching something behind us. My chest locked. I slowly turned around. No one there. I looked back at the portrait, and this time his eyes were turned even more to the side, like he was tracking something. Something invisible. Something moving. My friend hit the record button. Suddenly, a blast of icy air shot across the room, and the door slammed shut behind us. The lantern blinked once, and in that one blink, we saw something we should have never seen. Someone was sitting in the chair, completely still, shaped like a shadow. No face, no body, just a form, with faint fog breaths drifting out of it. The lantern blinked again, and it was gone. The chair was empty. Now it was just us, and something else, breathing between us. The recorder picked up a voice right then. Turn around. My friend dropped the recorder. My hands went numb, and both of us felt it at the same time. Someone was standing right behind us. The air lifted off the floor. My neck hair shot straight up, and we both turned around. And what stood behind us was not human. It wasn't a spirit. It was the real owner of this jail, and it had already recognized that we had stepped inside its room. The shadow in the sheriff's room wasn't just watching us. It started following us, and when we tried going back downstairs, the jail, from the stairway to the basement, opened its real secrets for us. The moment that shadow in the sheriff's room moved toward us, my friend let out a quick, panicked yelp and stumbled back. I completely froze. It didn't feel like the room was getting smaller. It felt like we were shrinking. That presence, that air, that breathing, it was melting right behind me. The lantern wasn't giving normal light anymore. Every 2 seconds, flash, then darkness. Flash, dark, flash, dark. And with every flash, that shadow looked closer, like it wanted to shove itself right between our blinking eyes. My friend grabbed my shirt hard. Bro, we need to go, G.O. We ran straight toward the door. The door was locked. The same door that had slammed shut in the last blink. The handle wouldn't move. It felt like someone on the other side was holding it still. The chair in the corner, the same chair someone had been sitting in just minutes ago, started moving on its own. Slow. 1 inch. Another inch. Then it stopped dead in the center, like something wanted to come back to it. But the scariest thing wasn't the chair. It was the footsteps. No one was walking, but fresh footprints were forming on the dusty floor, one by one, heading straight toward us. I shoved the door with both hands, and suddenly it swung wide open. We threw ourselves into the corridor, and right then I understood. The jail wasn't going to let us leave. The sheriff had seen us, and whatever was in there had no plan of sending us back downstairs safely. The corridor was darker than before. The lantern light wouldn't travel more than 4 feet ahead. Like the darkness was eating the light on purpose. We ran toward the stairway, but the stairs weren't normal anymore. Earlier we could see the whole staircase. Now only the first 2 steps were visible. The rest was pure pitch black, like something was staring up from below. Like the darkness was hiding something at the bottom. Like something was standing there, with its arms wide open, waiting for us. My friend lowered the lantern toward the stairs, and what the lantern revealed was enough to knock the breath out of us. At the base of the stairs, someone's shadow stood there. No face, no shape, just a long neck, and disturbingly long arms. Arms that were slowly gripping the railing and pulling themselves upward. We stepped back from the top of the stairs. We can't go down, dude. There's something down there. And as we turned around, at the end of the corridor, another shadow was standing. Not just a shape this time. Its shoulders were rising and falling, like it was breathing, or trying not to laugh. We were trapped. Shadow on the stairway, shadow in the corridor, and us in between. The jail wasn't silent now. The jail was alive. Suddenly, from the left cell corridor, a sound echoed. Dragging, then dragging again. Then a heavy, dull thud, like someone was dragging their body across the floor. We turned left, and for 5 seconds, the lights went out. When the light came back, every cell door was slightly shaken open, like someone had grabbed all of them at once and rattled them. The iron bars screamed like rusted animals. Every shake felt angry, like the prisoners' spirits had come back, like they were saying, "This is our place. Go back. You don't belong here." And from the last cell at the far end, a slow clap echoed, one clap at a time. Cold, alive, stubborn, like someone was saying, "You made it all the way to me. Now there's no way back." We stopped in the middle of the corridor. The shadow on the stairs was climbing up. The shadow at the end of the hallway was moving toward us. The cells were filled with invisible people angry at us. And then, from deep inside the jail, the basement door, the one that's always locked, swung wide open, all by itself. But instead of cold air rising, warm air hit us, like something down there was burning alive, or something that shouldn't exist, was breathing. My friend whispered through shaky breath, "Bro, the jail wants us to go downstairs. And this is not a good sign." From the basement came a deep inhale, a sound no spirit, no human, no animal could make. Something else, something older, something evil, something that felt even older than the jail itself. I whispered, "We're not going down there, no way." The moment we stepped back, the stairway shadow climbed 3 steps, in one violent jump. In 1 second, we screamed and backed away. The corridor shadow was now moving toward us slowly. The clapping inside the cells got louder, and the basement voice whispered, "Come down." So slow, so suffocating, like someone with a burned throat was speaking. The light blinked, then blinked again, and on the third blink, the shadow was standing right between us. No clear shape, just a long, thin body, with hot breath and an inhuman presence that empties your mind when you look at it. And it rasped from its throat, "Turn around." My body said no, but my neck turned on its own. At the basement doorway, something was standing. Something with no face. Something with backwards bent arms. Something stuck between a laugh and a scream. And it was slowly climbing the stairs, dragging each hand, breaking each finger, cracking every joint, every movement, every crack, every breath. Felt like 100 people were screaming inside the jail. Our legs froze. That thing was climbing from below. The sheriff's shadow was coming from ahead. And inside every cell, every prisoner's spirit was alive again. We were completely trapped for the last time. The jail didn't just scare us. It claimed us as its own. And when we tried running toward the exit, the jail showed us the things only the ones who never leave ever get to see. We were standing right in the center of the jail. In front of us was the sheriff's shadow. Behind us was that twisted thing. And the cells on both sides were screaming. We were anxious, totally helpless. The lantern kept flickering. Then after one long blink, a new shadow appeared inside. One that was watching our breathing more than our faces. The air got heavy real fast. Then one voice, "You ain't going back." It was like somebody exhaled through the wall. The wall literally breathed. The plaster was moving in and out, like something inside was beating against it. The sheriff's shadow suddenly stepped forward and brought its face right up to ours. Not a face, just a pitch-black hole, like nothing existed there at all. Then a whisper, "This jail keeps all of us here, you too as well." Then it stepped back, and we just froze, staring. The corridor lights reversed. It looked like the lights were getting sucked backward. Every bulb's filament turned black, one by one, until, poof, the entire jail fell into a suffocating darkness, in one single breath. And in that darkness we heard, "Don't move." Slow, deep, like it was crawling out of the ground. But we moved, and that one step put the entire jail into hunt mode. From below, that twisted thing climbed the stairs and came into full view. Its arms were bent backward, its joints cracking in reverse, its fingers scraping the railing, leaving long metal scars. Every step it took, the cells shook, like every prisoner was synced with that thing. It reached the top of the stairs and lifted its head toward us. The head was upside down, face toward the wall, and down its back was a long crack, opening wider with every movement. Then it rotated its head slowly, not 360 degrees, 540 degrees. That thing wasn't looking at us. It was listening to us. A heavy breath came from its body. "You need to come down." My friend grabbed my arm. "Bro, we gotta get out of here, now." But when we tried to run, the floor grabbed our feet. The tiles bulged up and tightened around our shoes. The ground had literally become the jail's hand. We somehow yanked our feet free and sprinted down the corridor. But this hallway wasn't from the original layout. The central hall Just a giant pit of darkness. A massive open space that didn't exist on any map. Names were scratched on the walls. We never left. SHE waits. Don't geo down. A small glow came from a corner, like someone was lighting a lantern. We ran toward it. In the corner stood an old prisoner, but only an outline. No face. No features. The light passed right through him, onto the wall behind. Without moving, he said, "She saw you." We froze. He twisted his neck and pointed to the direction we came from. And there, that twisted thing was standing. But this time it wasn't crawling. It was floating, dead silent, like a bad thought hanging in the air. We ran through the central hall, shadows flooding in from both sides. No shape, just long black outlines, sliding fast across the floor. With every slide, the noise from the cells grew louder, a suffocating, restless humming, like the whole jail was one giant body, and we were trapped inside it. We ran for the exit, but the exit wasn't there. The jail had rearranged itself. Walls shifted, floors twisted, doorways merged, like the whole place was solving its own puzzle around us. My friend screamed, "This jail, RMMBRS US." And then, a door opened by itself. We sprinted inside. It slammed shut behind us. The room had one lantern glowing, and everything else looked like an old holding cell. But in the center, a huge burn mark on the floor, like someone had been burned out of existence. The wall took another breath. We actually felt the air pulse. And then, the entire jail's voice came all at once. "Turn around." With our hearts pounding, we slowly turned. In the corner, it wasn't the twisted thing. It wasn't the sheriff. It was something third. A pure white shadow. Completely white. Completely silent. Completely still. And it said, "I won't hurt you." We didn't move. The white shadow raised its hand and pointed to the wall. On the old paint, 2 words rose up like they were being written. "Get out." The white shadow didn't move, but the jail did. The whole structure jolted violently. Floor cracking, ceiling shaking, cells roaring. The white shadow spoke again, this time angry. "Run." And we bolted. Doors swung open by themselves. Corridors straightened. The stairway lit up. The basement door slammed shut. Every shadow stopped chasing, like the jail was scared of that white shadow. We ran to the exit, and the heavy metal main gate flew open by itself. We fell outside. The air out there felt more alive than anything in our lives. We looked back. The white shadow was standing inside the gate, watching us leave, and quietly said, "I was once just like you." Then it vanished in a blink, and the jail dropped back into silence. The jail didn't see us as enemies. It saw us as its own. If that white shadow hadn't pulled us out, we might have ended up inside forever. Just another pair of shadows behind iron bars. Like the video, share it, and subscribe before the next shadow finds us.